9.99, and then it's Vantash of Romania, and Kim Zmeskal actually ties Svetlana Boganskaya for 4th place. The final apparatus of the women's individual event finals, this is floor exercise, the combination of dance and tumbling that dazzles the crowd. Right now you are looking at Kim Zmeskal of the United States. I'm Leandra Riley, along with Olympic gold medalist Tim Daggett. And what kind of performance should we see from Kim on floor?
Well, a power-packed performance, that's for sure. She is very dynamic on this exercise. Midway through the routine, she'll do a pass that I've never seen anyone perform. She'll do 3 whip backs right into a double back somersault. Extremely powerful gymnast here.
This is her only opportunity to pick up a medal in these individual event finals. She did not do well in vaulting, uneven parallel bars. On the balance beam, she did finish 4th, but that is out of the medal. So let's see what she can do on floor exercise.
If I had to pick an event, Leandra, this would certainly be the one where she does have her greatest potential. Slightly Romanian-sounding music here for Kim Zmeskal. Some of her coach's heritage showing. Bella Caroli. Pike full in back somersault. Way in the air. Done very nicely. You know, sometimes we say those words so quickly. A pike full twisting double somersault. Just think about doing 2 complete flips with 1 twist. Remarkable. Kim has an extremely playful style on the floor exercise. Like a little girl acting out a play. Now here's that pass we talked about. Watch it, 3 whips right into a double back. Wow. Oh,
Extra steps.
just a little bit off balance. Too much rotation on that double back somersault. Kim has been recovering from an injury. Notice the protective wear on the wrist. Many of the gymnasts have wrist problems. Her dismount, double back somersault. That one was good.
Kim Zmeskal from the United States trains under Bella Caroli in Houston, Texas. And a fine performance, but a couple of extra steps that are going to cost her and just might keep her from getting a medal this day.
You know, she just really didn't seem to have the spark that she needed at this competition. You watch her sometimes compete in the United States and she just has the crowd behind her and it's like nothing can stop her. Here, she just really doesn't inspire them quite as much. Nice full twisting double back somersault though. The whip pass here. Count them, there are 3, there's 1. 2, of course 3, into a back handspring. To a double back somersault. But watch this, holds onto it a little too long, has that little bit of a shimmy and the step back.
9.787. So that's the first score we've seen on floor exercise, but I don't think that'll be good enough, certainly for a gold medal. Let's hope for maybe even a bronze. The next competitor happens to be a teammate of Kim Zmeskal, Betty Aquino. Betty Aquino is just having the meat of her life here in Germany. Doing so well in the all-around competition, picking up the gold medal on the uneven parallel bars, then picking up another gold medal on the balance beam.
You mentioned that she is a teammate with Kim Zmeskal, and that is so important in their training. They really complement each other. Betty is the graceful, artistic one, Kim, the powerful little dynamo. Well, we better see some dynamite here. Full twisting double somersault from Aquino, a little bit back, but boy, she holds on to it. Technically, that wasn't very strong. Her hip went back off of the takeoff. It was a little bit low, but the landing turned out just fine, so she will have no significant deduction there.
You know, we talked about somatotype on the balance beam and how being small actually hurts you because you don't have the long, leggy lines. Well, in tumbling, it's a bonus. You saw the powerful tumbling of Zmeskal, and now you can see the lankiness of Aquino, and she does not tumble as well as Zmeskal does.
But she looks so beautiful on the exercise itself. There's a nice double pike somersault.
But her dance elements, and don't get me wrong, her tumbling is very, very good. But you can just see how it helps being a little more compact.
Well, I think her style really helps to win the audience over. She pulls everybody in. She's become part of this exercise.
So light in her leaps. Very bird-like.
Her dismount, double back somersault. Well, that was excellent. As powerful as I've seen Betty look. That's going to be a big scoring routine.
And she gets a well-deserved applause from this knowledgeable crowd here in Stuttgart, Germany. DTB Pokal has been held here many, many years, and the Germans are big fans of the sport of gymnastics. You can tell by the hug from Bella Caroli, this routine's going to get a good score.
What a competition for Betty Aquino. Her first major international coming out party, the DTB Cup. That full twisting double somersault, as we said, technically not so great, but no deductions because she sticks the landing. I think this is the highlight of the routine right here. Her dismount way in the air, has plenty of time to spot the ground, so the landing is just flawless.
The score she wants to beat is 9.787, and she does that easily. 9.875. Betty Aquino takes over the lead from Kim Zemeskal. But the young lady who's coming up next is a young lady who is also having a very, very strong meet, and that is Henrietta Onodi of Hungary. She took the gold medal on the vaulting. Earlier, she took a gold medal in the all-around competition, picked up a silver on the uneven, but did struggle on the balance beam. Let's see if she can rally back on floor exercise.
So dynamic in this exercise, and one of the things that sets her apart from the other athletes is she'll actually do 4 big tumbling passes. Here's the first one. She'll do a whip back into a pike full land, the most difficult we've seen so far today. And Leandra, she is nowhere near done. Her second tumbling pass. Triple full twist. So difficult. Very few of the gymnasts in the world right now are using that for a tumbling pass. Now she'll show us something very unique. Double full right into a punch front somersault. She'll tumble out of that as well. That skill we saw on the balance beam from her. A little bit easier on a floor exercise mat, however.
I'm amazed at her energy level on this floor
It's
routine.
just remarkable. Look at this. Double pike. She just does not stop through this whole exercise. Wow.
What a routine from Henrietta Onodi. Just when you think you've seen it all, she does one better.
How would you like to do about 6 or 7 of them in practice one day? Can you imagine the energy level?
Hey, it would be a fantasy if I could do one of those in my life.
She just does not start. As soon as she walks out onto that floor exercise routine, the tumbling is just non-stop. She maybe could be a little bit more aesthetic in certain areas, but the tumbling is so dynamic that it kind of gets overshadowed. Here's her first tumbling pass. She does a whip back into a full twisting double somersault in the pike position. Many of the other gymnasts are doing a full twisting double somersault, but we haven't seen any yet that did it from the whip back like that. Watch this. Triple full twisting somersault here. Like we said, very few gymnasts are doing it. Look at the height she gets. 3 complete twists.
Wow.
Perfect landing.
The highest score in the meet, 9.962, higher than anything we've seen on the vaulting, the beam, the bars. What a way to finish for Henrietta Onodi, and she's still not our final competitor. We'll be back with more on the floor exercise, but first, these messages. We are ready now for our final competitors on the women's floor exercise event. And what a tough role this lady has to fill. She has to follow Henrietta Onodi, who just received the highest score in the meet at 9.962. But Natalia Lashenova, probably the one who can do that. She's a very, very strong dancer and a very strong tumbler.
Very powerful gymnast. She'll show us our first double layout on the floor exercise of the competition. Extremely difficult. As As we've said earlier, the Soviets have extremely high hopes for this young lady. Here it is, double laid out somersault, 2 flips in the laid out position, and perfect landing. Once again, just try to imagine what it's like to flip in the straight body position 2 times around.
That's a tough thing to imagine off a 10-meter board, let alone a tumbling pass in a floor routine.
Well, it's such a different style, huh?
Very long pause there.
Getting ready for a big tumbling pass, full twisting double somersault. Boy, she came awfully close to that line. As in tennis, however, the line is inbound. She's allowed to step on it, but if she goes over, there's a deduction. Her final tumbling run. Double back somersault, so much power. The Soviets are so technically oriented. Their tumbling is just perfect. They get every single ounce of power out of themselves that they can.
Her score is 9.837, so it doesn't look like she's going to factor into the medals this day because Christina Bantes is yet to come. She's a young lady from Romania, and of all the apparatus there are in women's gymnastics, by far, this is her strongest.
Now, as we've said, there are many ingredients that you need to be a successful gymnast, especially on the floor exercise. One of them, you have to be extremely powerful, like a Mary Lou Retton style. You also have to have the grace, and I think that this is the one area that Christina is a little bit lacking in, but not here. Watch this double layout somersault, surplus of rotation there. The same mount that we saw from Lishenova. She does obviously dance. It's a requirement on the floor exercise, but just really doesn't inspire you with it at all. It's almost like she's just moving from one corner to the other so that she can show you her tumbling again. And tumble she will. Watch this. Full twisting double somersault. She'll tumble out of it as well, right into a back handspring, straddle jump, and turn around and go the other way. Very difficult.
While I'm not really thrilled with the choreography, I am certainly impressed with the tumbling and execution.
Very powerful young lady. Her dismount, of course, critical. One last landing to stick. Double back way in the air and done as well as you can do it.
Should present a strong challenge for the score put in by Henrietta Anodi. Again, that's 9.962. Right now, that's our gold medal standard for the floor exercise. Is Bantes' routine good enough for that? Let's take another look at some of the tumbling elements, and then we'll have her score.
Well, I really don't think that she has a chance to pass Anodi. It was just such a wonderful exercise, but the acrobatic elements in this routine are phenomenal. Her mount right here, double laid out somersault, and like we said, a surplus of rotation on that skill. Tremendous.
Now let's see what the judges have to say about her routine.
They will have to show us 2 different vaults. They will not be able to repeat.
Took an emotional flexibility.